Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ARK Podcast number 24. Today is Thursday, November 24th. My name is Brad, and I'm here with the core team. We're excited to have our public pre-sale round 3 tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. UTC. And with us, as always, your host tonight, our inspirational leader, Atlas. Great to have you here, sir. The floor is yours.
For the introduction, Brad. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ARK. This is Atlas. This is podcast number 24. And we are very excited. Tomorrow is a very, very big day. It's the third and final round of our public pre-sale. I know there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of FOMO going around. The streets, are screaming, looking for a place to be able to come and really, park their wealth, whether it's very small or a large amount. They're looking for sustainability. They're looking for a project that's really taking the time to analyze the IDAP space, and that's really looking to cross on over to the real world, to go on a global scale, to emerging markets, to folks that are seeing their fiat in the bank capitalize with inflation. It's a fact. There's so much uncertainty that's happening on a global scale. And we believe that our proposition here is exactly what folks are looking for. DeFi is taking the middleman out of financial services, making the ecosystem much more transparent with much less counterparty risk. It will continue to move forward, especially with what's been going around, all of the debacles that you guys know about. I don't have to repeat them. DeFi is really the way, and having a structure, the way we've built everything here from the ground up, from the contracts, from the way that the whole system ties in together and creates an even, fair playing field. Just the fact that team tokens, advisor tokens, private pre-sale investors, there's not one token that's going to be out in the open market in any wallets. There's nobody that can dump on us. We don't have to look over our shoulders. We don't have to be worried about the chart. Even after launch, you have to purchase your ARK token, which will be going to the ARK vault just the same as everyone else. We're flipping the script, guys. We're turning the tables. We're encouraging investors to take their initial investment. There's 2 cardinal rules of investing. Never invest what you can't afford to invest. And the second, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it a million times, pay yourselves. Get that initial investment back in your pockets. And then you're sailing on the water, happy days. This is a very long-term project. And I think folks know that. And I also want to bring a little bit of positivity and understanding. Sometimes I go around and I listen to these people in this space, and they think it's the fucking end of the world. It's fucking pathetic. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's really childish. The entire crypto asset ecosystem is $800 billion. And that may sound like a very large amount to you guys, but it's not. Apple, their market cap is 3 times larger. Sometimes you got to zoom out. That's what I used to do as a trader. That's what I tell myself. You think it's the end of the world. You're, the hurricane. Just zoom out. This is a speck in the pattern of volatility of markets. And guys, take a deep breath. Sometimes people take things too seriously, and the truth is that people get over leveraged. They invest more than we can afford to. And then they're flopping and groping. Oh my God. Oh, what am I going to do? Come on, man. Wake up. And we've been here long enough to understand that the psychology of the investor, the greed, the stars in the eyes takes over. And I don't want to sit here on a soapbox every single night and tell everybody to pay themselves. That's why the smart contracts are pretty much forcing you to do that. The ecosystem is made so that every investor that comes here is going to follow a safe, profitable strategy that's going to work for them. Some could like it, some could hate it, but I guarantee you that the folks that really come and get educated, understand the system, they're going to really, really love it, because ARK is really, really special. Diamonds are forever, and so is ARK. Let's get this crypto. All right, guys. So sorry to go on that rant, a long introduction, but I really see that a lot of folks are just drowning in a glass of water, and they're not really understanding. They're not seeing the bigger picture here and the opportunity and the sustainability that's really been baked into the system. Something I'm proud about, something that I want to do here every single night with you guys. Pretty soon after launch, we're going to be doing a giveaway. There's going to be winners every single 24 hours. 50% of the Guardian wallet is been given away. There's going to be single mothers that are going to wake up and see that, oh my God, I can pay that electric bill. Oh, well, my kid wants this toy. Like, there's going to be some testimonials of some folks that are going to be coming here that are just going to blow us away. There's a long-term vision here, and there's a lot of lives that are going to be improved and changed. And, for me, there's no other better place to be. Is there somebody who has a question or a comment? Please unmute your mic. Join us. Let's have a conversation.
I think what's going on. Go for it, sorry, my bad.
Oh, excuse me. Please go ahead, Z.
Atlas, if you can kind of point out how folks can participate in the pre-sale, because I'm just getting DMs about tomorrow's 800 NFTs that go live. So just give a little bit stamp there. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. It's at 12 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, 5 p.m. UTC. You have the links posted here and pinned. You're able to go to the pre-sale D app, and you're able to pre-approve your BUSD before the clock strikes. So everyone's going to have the opportunity here to, get their BUSD approved while you sit there, you lay like a grass, like a snake in the grass, ready to strike. So all the information is there, and you have a limit of 1 NFT per wallet, 800 NFTs available only. Our first pre-sale was sold in 2 minutes. Our second, we changed the rules to give more folks the opportunity to participate. So we put a cap. Instead of 2 NFTs per wallet, only 1, and it worked, I think, fabulously, as it was a 12-minute sellout. And then tomorrow, it's the same. Now we have a lower supply, 800, and you're only going to be able to purchase 1 per wallet. I know there's some degens out there. I've heard it. They've got a bunch of wallets all set up in different browsers. Hey, listen, we can't control what folks do. And honestly, we're not really worried about it, because we're all, really playing by the same rules. We're all going into the ARK vault. There's nobody that's going to be able to sit there and hold tokens and dump on us. We've all been there. That little 1% that's a friend of the dev and a friend of the marketing guy and the cousin of the other guy. And, they get their 3-4x, they cheat it, and they move on to the next one over and over. And my friend, that's not happening here. It's just not the way that we operate. So yeah. Does that answer your question, Mr. Z?
Yeah. I'm getting DM saying thank you, Z. I should say to them, thank you, Atlas.
Well, tell them to show up early. They have every opportunity to, seize the day and go ahead and approve that. They could do it right now. They could just leave it all set up at this moment, go to bed, and then when they're up, be ready, to get this crypto, as they say.
Awesome.
All right. Well, guys, we're pumped. We're very, 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 very excited. Tomorrow is a big, big day. We've heard the investors step up here from so many different communities, big groups, that have taken the time, they've done their due diligence, they've read the white paper 10 times. Upside down, I saw a guy, reading it. I saw James at the water cooler. Oh my God, did you get into the ARK pre-sale? Oh, I got into the private, Jerry. Oh my God, I got into the private, but I'm gonna ape in. Oh, I won a spot in the last one. Oh yeah, little Jimmy, don't worry. There's a chance here for everybody. And look, there's always gonna be some folks that, always show up late to the party. That's what the launch is for. But, we heard them when we did the private. Oh my God, we heard a bunch of people just, oh man, they were really sad. They were really sad, guys. But yeah, do we have any questions or comments? You guys are kind of quiet tonight. I don't feel the FOMO. NATO, where you at, man? How you feeling?
Bro, I'm feeling great. I'm gonna pop, but I wanted to say happy Thanksgiving, remotely for you and everyone who's celebrating. And I would definitely say that ARK has a superior edge based on what's happening in the market, and I think we should capitalize on it. I'm really excited for this family, guys. Thank you very much.
Let's get this crypto, NATO. Come on, man. You got to give me better than that. Let's go. Let's get this crypto. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right. Who else would like to join us? Ask a question, make a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Don't be intimidated. All right. I guess nobody at this time. We've got a couple AMAs that are going to be announced very soon. I can tell you that CertiK is working, diligently on the contracts. Everything's looking really fantastic. And we also have a second firm that we don't want to disclose that is doing also some extra work on the contracts, some more stress testing on the mainnet. The team is currently testing on mainnet all of the contracts, all of the functions, legacy NFTs, ARK Vault, the swap, our liquidity controller. Everything's looking fantastic. We're very proud of the work that's being done. The focus is just at a ATH, using crypto terms. The guys are very excited. They've seen that the crypto investors are here. They're very, very interested. And they're hearing you loud and clear as you step up, putting your money where your mouth is and showing your participation, that you want a piece of this, understanding the rules, that this is not a get rich, overnight situation, my friend. Those days are over. That 100x in 2 hours, it's just not happening. People have been humbled. I've been humbled. A lot of our investors have been humbled. And, we've built an amazing project here for the bear. The crypto winter, they're even saying the ice age now. Listen, the ARK, has a hull that's an icebreaker. Okay. We're ready. We're ready for whatever storm, hurricane, whatever it might be, and you're all, welcomed. You're all, ready to be here with us. Like, Mr. Brett said, all hands on deck. And, our pride and directive is so clear. We want to bring DeFi simplified to the masses, to the little guy in Venezuela making $1.30 a month at a full-time job. Yeah. That they're finding, an income playing, video games and making $70, dollars a day in crypto, because they just can't find that. Go to Argentina, the pesos in the ground. I mean, Venezuela had 1,000,000% inflation. If, 6 years ago, you would have bought $1 million worth of the Bolivar, their national currency. You'd probably have like $2 in your account, dollar value. And this is just an example of, the understanding of where things can go on a global scale. I'm not trying to put fear into you. I don't have to. I mean, just turn on the news, get on Twitter, see what's happening around the world, and you understand what inflation is doing, the energy costs. And, we've, got a lot of that baked into our external investments. We have a lot of opportunity. I think it's a great time for this proposition, and we're happy to be here offering it to all of you. If there's no one else that has a question at this time, Mr. Z, do you want to come and tell us a little bit of what's happening in DeFi? I know you got your ear to the ground.
Question.
Yuda man. Hey, what's up? Hey, man, Yuda man, you always get an applause when you show up. Hey, what's up, man?
Thank you. First of all, my voice is gone because of the cold, but everyone happy Thanksgiving. And I hope you have a great time with your family and friends and close associates. Anyway, I'm laying down and I am thinking about, sorry about my voice. Voice is gone. So tomorrow AMA may not be possible for me with you. Anyway, I'm thinking about immutability. Recently, one of the ROI project changed the rules significantly, and then I'm thinking, is this real DeFi or not? So my question to you is this: is this contract immutable, or do you can change any time when the things doesn't go right? That's my question.
Great question.
Were you able to understand?
Can you hear me, Yuda man?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Look, I think we got to talk about the elephant in the room. It's not so much about the contracts, the immutability of the contracts. I think we're talking about changes happening after promises are made. And, there's a lot of that's going around, and it's happening. A lot of folks are in anger right now. And we don't want to name names. We have a different culture here. And if you really want to understand ARK, you need to understand that we've been here since February. We've been looking at drip. We've been looking at everything that has come after. We've been looking at bankroll flow. We've been studying what's been effective, what's been fair, what's been changed. And if you take a moment, you realize that every single one has changed. It's part of, let's say, survival, to be able to pivot. And I can tell you this from experience, because our phase one was a 100% immutable contract. And there were people that were doing very, very selfish, bad things on that contract. And I spent many sleepless nights struggling in my conscience, not being able to protect the little guy that was coming in, that was taking, 50% of his paycheck to come in, and understanding that there was a character that was taking, this was on Chronos, 18,000 Crow a day. He probably invested 300 Crow and on a leak to be able to join. When you have a fully immutable contract, you need to understand that not only are you being, in my opinion, very risky, but also irresponsible, because if there's any mistake, if there's anybody doing something or found an exploit, they are able to drain and destroy your project. And that hurts all the investors, my friends, my family, because they're all invested with me in anything that I do. So I understand the beauty of the utopia of a immutable. However, in this business, you need to be able, especially on a long-term project basis, you need to be able to pivot. You need to be able to change on the spot, on the dime. You found an exploit, you found a weakness, you found an opportunity. You want to incorporate other contracts to blend in. And ARK is not a 1-2 month, 1 year, 2 year project. This is a long-term journey. We're built for the bear. But what happens when the bull comes? I mean, what happened when he's here and you hear it? You need to be able to pivot. You need to be able to adapt. Now, with that, going back to the elephant in the room, comes to who is running the project. What are their values, their principles, their, ulterior motives, and really where their heart is at. At ARK, it's not just me. There's a whole team here, and everyone is a partner into the project. Everyone that's on the team is invested just the same way that you guys are, and we're all playing by the same rules. No one gets to go faster than anyone else. No one gets to exploit anything. There's discipline and there's quality of folks. We all come from a legit, strong background. Myself and Brett, we come from a business background, development of companies, of tech, banking. We're not clowns, we're not jokers. And with that said, that's still, in my opinion, not enough. Major decisions need to be made by the investors. That's why we have a DAO that is going to be rolled out, where we look at doing external investments. When we look at making any changes, we want those investors to make decisions. It's not our money only. It's your money. It's the investors' hard-earned capital that they're risking and that they're investing for a better tomorrow, for a great return on investment. So, you have our complete dedication, ethics, values playing into the way we make decisions. And if there is anything that happens that we need to react instantly, we will. But major decisions, major changes have to be done by the DAO here at ARK. We can't limit ourselves. We can't tie our hands behind an immutable contract, because I've tried that, my friend. And frankly, it just doesn't work. So I think you need to do the due diligence on the contracts as well as a team. Either you believe, you understand, you look at the DAO, the structure, and you make your decision. Do your due diligence. And it's a fantastic question. Thank you, man. I hope that answered it.
Yes, thank you.
It is not a cut and dry yes or no. At least not for me. This is very, very, very serious business.
I understand 100%.
You can have a weapon in the hand of a monkey, or you can have the weapon in the hand of a soldier that's been trained and is there to protect his country and democracy and has his values. Or you can put the weapon in the hand of a dictator or a criminal. Choose wisely, my friend. And when we hear the folks out there crying, you need to understand that not everyone has their heart in the right place and their values. And that's where you need to really decide. It's not about immutable. It's about really who's there and what opportunity are they offering the investors. Let's get this crypto. Who's next?
We've got a question in the chat here. I know that you won't be able to answer this exactly, but the question's from Kuro. What exact revenue sources will there be to make ARK more sustainable?
We've spread those around. There's two of them that are very interesting to us. Let me see. I can actually even post to, hold on. Let me see here. Because I want to give this to you guys as admins. Excuse me, to share. I'll go ahead and send it to you guys in the admin chat. Have there been a lot of questions about that?
It tends to come up quite a lot. Interested in what the revenue sources are going to be.
Okay, here we go. Well, we got a few of them, And they're all pretty much based on our experience, our contracts, in the real world relationships. I don't do business with people I don't have a relationship with, especially when it's a long-term situation. And due diligence is extremely important. So we can share with you now too that we have very, very well secured. And one is going into non-leveraged, low risk, high yield structured bridge flips of bonds. They're securities. There's a hedge fund, they've been around for 20 years in Europe, and they do, think of it like crowdfunding, but for institutions. Little guys like me and you, we don't get invited. First of all, we can't afford it. And yeah, there's a level of relationship of who they invite. Now with that, as I said, it's non-leveraged, it's low risk. These are not deals that you have every week or every month. There are special opportunities. They raise between 1.5 to 3 billion euros, and they're moving an asset between bank A and bank B, and they're using this crowdfunding, this raise, to be able to do that. Contrary to what a lot of folks believe, there's a lot of high yield opportunities in the real world. I got into crypto because of the volatility and the opportunity to make a lot more money trading on a daily basis than in the traditional markets. But if you actually take a second and look, you can look at the US 30 and you look at Bitcoin and you'll fall asleep looking at Bitcoin. And the volatility happening in the real markets, right, is insane. So this is something that's not taking on risk. Of course, I want to be very clear. You're going to have the opportunity as an investor here, as a member of the DAO, a legacy NFT owner and investor and partner into ARK, to do all of the due diligence on the hedge fund, their officers, their C-level executives, their balance sheet, and then you're able to make your decision. So we encourage everyone to do their due diligence before a vote. Another one we have is of actually purchasing GPUs. There's a lot of distressed, bankrupt mining companies in crypto that, a year and a half ago, all-time high, they were, having record profits. However, right now, the energy costs have gone so high that they're not able to keep the lights on. They're not able to keep fueling the transactions. Yes, those GPUs have gotten more energy efficient, but we're at a point that you can't break even. If you can't break even, you're losing money. So all of those gains are been washed out. And, I don't have to tell you who said it, but when there's blood on the streets, there's always opportunity. So distressed assets are there. These GPUs we can buy them for pennies on the dollar. And now we go to the next level, which is really combining the GPUs with a strategy that makes money today. And you're like, well, how, Atlas? Can we make money today? Electricity costs, if they're turning them off and they can't pay the bills and they can't be running hash rates and they can't be validating, how can you do it? Well, very simple, little Jimmy. We go to Canada, where there's a company that I have a personal relationship with. They've been doing it for 2 years. Dave signed a 5-year contract with the oil company that's actually doing, oil fracking. They're going into the well and they're fracking for oil, and there's always an escape of natural gas that generally, if you've seen some of the movies, they're burning that off. Now, the governments have a cap because it's, quote unquote, bad for the environment. So they cap how much of that gas you can release, meaning that once you reach your cap, you can't continue your mining operation on that well. So they're stuck. Now, that resource is very valuable for energy in the open markets, but you'd have to build a pipeline to get to market. That takes a very long time, costs a lot of money. So they just move on to the next well. So what this company is doing, they're going right to the source of the well. They're tapping into the gas that's there, the trash, the problem of the oil company, and they're putting generators and turbines. Doing electricity, they're creating, electricity. The cost per kilowatt hour is about 1 cent. I mean, it's free, but you have to run the system, right? You have to pay for the equipment, and instantly you're profitable. So it's a fantastic opportunity of really seeing the disconnect, the distress of the miners, and coming and just being smarter. And I do believe that there will be legislation and there will be requirements for AKA green crypto. I don't know if you guys remember when Elon Musk came out and he said, oh, crypto, Bitcoin's dirty. We're not accepting that Tesla. I lost 86.3 Bitcoin that day. I'll never forget it. That was a sign. So either you can complain and you can say the world's unfair, or you can find a solution and you can be ahead of the curve 10 steps if you're able to, and seize the day. Let's get this crypto. I hope that answers.
Yeah, that is a fantastic and detailed answer. Thank you. And Kuro has thanked you for the answer in the chat as well.
That's the short version, by the way.
So just I
Go
can
ahead.
clarify for myself. Sorry. Just to clarify that for myself. So we're using the excess to create the renewable energy. Is that right? From the fracking, the stuff that they so it's win-win situation for them as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the old saying: one man's trash is another man's gold. They can't sell it. They can't move it to market. It's not financially feasible. We can turn that into electricity that we can use for the mining operation with the GPUs that are just sitting there collecting dust.
Well, that is groundbreaking because it's just absolutely blown me away. What a fantastic idea, and absolutely brilliant. I'm very, very impressed.
And it's profitable today. For those of you folks, and again, everyone's, oh, I'm drowning in a glass of water. Like if you're some bug, so negative. I really don't understand this. Like people really need to shift and understand there's so much opportunity. The great, generational wealth have been made in bear markets, and you can be profitable, but you have to be creative and you have to analyze and spend the time. I mean, that's what we did with the ROI dApps in the spades. We got creative. We buckled it down. We bootstrapped it. But the bear is here, and we need to be profitable today. We can be profitable today with that. And can you imagine what it's going to look like in a bull? When you've seized the day, when you've tapped into a source that's giving you 1 cent per kilowatt hour energy, and you're just sitting there. And I'll tell you a secret that most people are so into the negative narrative about FTX, about this. Oh, it's the end of the world, Atlas. Listen, little Jimmy, if you look at the Bitcoin hash rate, it is at an all-time high. And Z, research that for me so you can bring up some facts. Do not be fooled, my friends.
Like crypto is definitely not on its way out. Like I have basically lived off of crypto for the longest time I can imagine. So when it starts going down like this, like it's not the end of anything. Like it will go up. Like it's just a simple matter of time before it does go up. There is so much viability. I would say, out of the people that are listening now, you probably only know 1% or maybe 0.5% of the ways you can use crypto in real world. So many ways it's untrue. And then going back to the trash and treasure thing. So I've literally just come from South Africa, where like you will see people literally picking up trash, like they're picking up bottles, cans, this, that, and the other. They're cashing that shit in and feeding family. Like it's so the same concept still goes. But crypto's basically here to stay. The worrying thing for me personally is traditional finance. Like I don't hold too much weight in trad finance. Decentralized finance, honestly, that's literally my way forward. That's like how I kind of get by everything. There is so much more potential out there than you think. It's just knowledge and education. And so far for the past, like, especially the length of the BSC, let's say, because I used to refer to the BSC as the Binance scam chain, because that's all that was on that. that like crypto's still in its infancy levels, but it's like things like ARK, they're bringing it into its like not even adolescence, like adult era of it. It's not just kids trying to make a shitload of money off of everybody else. It's people that care about the other people. Like, I mean, me personally, like, I'm not speaking for anybody else on ARK here, but me personally, I don't give a shit about whales. Like whales, they've got the money. Like, I like the smaller people. I want them to get their stuff. Because again, like Atlas was saying, one paycheck for somebody that they could put into crypto could be like not feeding the family for a month here, there, and everywhere. Whereas most DJs can easily throw all of this into this, that, and the other. And who benefits? It's the same system as traditional finance. The rich get richer and the poor stay poorer. Somebody earlier on was saying about the removal, like there's no middle class in Pakistan, I think it is. That's basically the goal of like, let's not get conspiracy here, but the upper level is they want to remove the middle class. You want the rich people and the poor people and nothing in between. Crypto's the great divider. It's just, it's a tool, right? So like if you were trying to use a knife to unscrew something, it is not going to work as well as a screwdriver to do it. The right tools for the right jobs make the right outputs, basically. Yeah.
Let's get this crypto. Let's go. Yeah. And for you know, I didn't introduce him, but he's just arrived. I think about an hour and 13 minutes ago over here to ARK headquarters.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah,
introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to introduce myself because I hate talking about myself, anything good. But I can speak towards like Atlas. So before today, like I'd never met Atlas in person. We'd only spoken, been helping out with ARK here, there, and everywhere. I've spent the past like 2 days constantly either in flights or airports to get here from South Africa, all the way to the Northern Hemisphere, like, well, from the top of the world to the bottom of the world to the top of the world to like halfway around the world to come and see the dude. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I got sat down to a steak meal. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to tell him. I'll send the picture to the chat if you want. It's just like I'm all about judging character and trusting character, and I would not travel all the way across the world to meet somebody that I didn't trust indefinitely. And I have horrible trust issues. But yeah, so that's why I'm all in. Let's get this crypto out. Let's get it.
Pleasure being here, man. This is Air Fryer from Bridge DeFi, a sister project here. He's a syndicate founder as well as an advisor who's been working here with us for many, many months. A big part of ARK, part of the foundation, really a pillar of the work we're doing here. So, I made a lot of invitations. I know I've invited Z, I've invited also Brett, I've invited, everyone on the core team to come over here to the HQ. Just about, I think 6-7 weeks ago, we had an investor here who's been coming and hanging out with me for about 2 years. We're, really good friends. We've traded together a lot. So as you guys know, my policy is always open. Anyone's able to come here and sit with us at the HQ and, have great conversations. I'm going to take him to a nice party tomorrow night. We're going to celebrate our third and final round, and good people. This man's been in crypto, from my understanding, over 10 years.
I don't actually know the exact date, but it's been definitely over 10 years. Like maybe over 11 or 12 years, maybe somewhere around that, but like a long, long, long time. Like when I got into it, like it's funny what you hear now, because so if you were to go to a bar and talk to somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto and be like, oh, I bought some Bitcoin the other day, they're probably going to be like, oh, it's a scam, you're going to lose your money, this, that, and the other. When I got into it, like people were like, what's that? And it was impossible to explain. Like it was literally impossible to explain what it actually was. And it's just been there, but it's been a method of using to buy and sell stuff for like so long, it's untrue. I mean, there's been bars that have taken crypto for, I'm going to say at least like 7 or 8 years ago. Like I was in Amsterdam then and paid for my stuff in crypto there. But then you get other solutions as well. So again, going back to South Africa, where I've just spent quite a fair bit of time, they have this service called Zapper, which is like a barcode scan to pay. There's another service called 6.50 that lets you load that zapper with your crypto.
Wow.
So you can go out, have a meal, pay for the meal with crypto. You can go out for beers, pay for it with crypto. Other places, it's not just bars, by the way. It's like discount chemists, pick and pay, like shops like what's pick and pay here? Like Walmart, I guess, like Morrison's if you're from England, stuff like that. You can pay for it with. Like these solutions exist. So it's not like crypto's useless and you can't do anything with it. You can do so much more with it than you actually understand. Yeah. It's literally just the beginning, which is why whenever like anything goes down, so realistically, I end up making more money in a bear market than a bull, because the one thing that I do not do is never get greedy. You get greedy, you're going to lose all your money. Simple and plain. Yeah. I think that's the mic drop. Don't be greedy. Just like do your shit. Like get on with it. Like you don't need to degen stuff to make it work. You can degen stuff, that's great, but if you degen a project, the project's going to die and it's not going to last. If everybody plays fair, the project lasts for a very, very long time. Whereas with ARK, if you have an amazing team and some good ass like advisors and stuff, it gets rid of a lot of those problems to begin with, because it becomes less and less degenable. And then anything that might be perceived as degening just becomes more like game theory than degening. Like you're not degening anything, it's just game theory. And it's that switch that everything needs. Crypto, it will survive no matter what, anything, but it has a better chance of surviving without people degening the hell out of everything, basically. Yeah.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
All right, let's go.
All aboard!
Oh, we got Donatello in the house. Let's see if he's still here. I know he's here for a little bit a minute ago. All right, I think he actually just stepped out. Is there anyone else that would like to ask a question? Please feel free to mute your mic, step up, let's have a conversation.
Hello, everyone. This is CryptoLove.
What's up, brother?
Hey, CryptoLove, long time no speak.
Is there ArkFi? No, so it's been a long time. I didn't know you were part of the ARK group.
Oh, well, if it's going to make you any more bullish, CryptoLove, like SK and Diamond and me and Redneck, like all those names.
Dr. Kelly Snook.
Yeah, Kelly Snook. Yeah, of course. How could I forget? Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry for listening.
Wow, the OGs. Oh my gosh.
So, like, there is a lot of very, very reputable good faces working on this, like, for sure. So yeah, it's good to hear from you again, CryptoLove. You should be getting so much FOMO just from me, you personally, unless everybody else knows who I'm talking about, and then you also should be bullish as hell. Yeah, let's get this crypto.
I'm already R, sir. That's just incredible. The team's just amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. So happy to have you here. Are you participating tomorrow? In the private?
I already participate in the private. I think I capped out my investment in that.
Oh, let's go, man. Let's go. Hey, applause to you, bro. Hey, the early, bird catches the worm, as they say. So you're all set, man. You are set. Calm,
yes,
cool,
sir.
collected.
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, it's beautiful, brother. So happy to have you here. I've seen you around. And for those folks that got in, fantastic. If you're able to load up more, even better. And if you're all set, you got your strategy, you've been working on Dr. Kelly Snook's, calculator here at ARK, and you know how you're going to play your game and how you're going to grow. Look, man, make it happen. I mean, that's what it's here for. And don't be confused of all the uncertainty that's happening around. How many times have we seen these people that become idols, that just fall from grace. You could see it, when the humbleness is gone, when the ego takes over. Hey, I got here because of my decision making, and I know better than anybody. And then their whole thing changes, and I know there's a lot of people upset right now with changes. And transparency is the name of the game right now. Transparency, accountability, letting the smart contracts do the work. Spend some time in the contracts, really understand what you're getting yourself into. Why it was purposely built this way. And, going back to the immutable, I think I gave a very precise explanation on that. You don't want an immutable. You just got to make sure that you've got the right team that's making the right decisions. And anyone that knows me can tell you, I will make the right decisions for the good of the project. Not for myself, not for a friend. It has to be for the best thing for everybody. And we don't want to make any changes. That's why this was put together this way. So we wouldn't have to. We've learned from everyone else's failures and mistakes. And I do feel bad for them. My heart goes out to them. I'm not saying that there are unscrupulous people. There's great teams out there, but they just started with the wrong idea, the wrong dream, the wrong parameters, and you have to give them credit. They've had to adapt, they've had to adjust, they've had to pivot according to what's happening, the actions of a bad, set of, apples. And unfortunately, that's had to be done in order to really give survival.
Yeah.
So it's easy for us to sit here and say, hindsight is 2020, but that's true. ARK is exactly hindsight 2020.
100%, because you've got the past of what we've seen from the other projects coming through. It's learning from the mistakes, which is literally the most human thing ever, which is why we don't eat poisonous food. Basically, that guy died from it. Let's not eat that stuff again.
Right.
That didn't work because of this, that, and the other. Right. Let's see how we can make it not do that. And that's what we've done, basically. Yeah.
This has been very well thought of. Every attention to every detail has been taken. And there is something to be said about first to market. Round of applause for first to market. I mean, love it. And then there's something for the folks that sat back, took the time, analyzed, took notes, and said, hey, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put on the clown nose. But it's not that, we're smarter than anybody else. It's just that we've been able to learn vicariously through the experiences of those that have gone before us. Yeah. Does that make us a genius? No, I think it just makes us very fair people who've taken the time to figure it out.
That's exactly it. It's not like a super smart person that gets it right. It's somebody who has made infinite mistakes and learned from them. That's simple and plain. You just learn from your mistakes and move on. Anybody at the top of anything, name any company, anything, this, that, and the other, they've messed up a hell of a lot of times to get to where they are, to get stuff to actually work as it is. And it's exactly the same principle, basically. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments? Feel free to mute your mic. Step right up.
Hello, guys. Really, you guys are really great. Having AMA every single day, still full of so much energy and positivity. I haven't felt so positive about a project like this for a very long time. There's so many great projects failed recently. I almost want to give up. So thank you for this fantastic project.
Thank you, James. Again, happy to see you here, my brother. And I'm glad you're taking notice. And that's what we hope, that people will take notice. In our phase 1, we did 67 podcasts in 69 days straight. There's no better place for me to be. If you're entrusting me, you're entrusting this team to work for you, crypto doesn't sleep. We all know that, but we can't sleep either. This is not like, oh, the dev's here one time a month, everybody rally. This is not politics. This is not your government. This is a family. And if you have a friend or maybe a coworker or somebody you went to high school with, and they want to see that this is real, they want to hear the voice behind what's happening. How real is it? Maybe it's a whale. Maybe somebody that's got, $9.9 million in the bank that's decaying in fiat. And they say, hey, I want to put 100K of my wealth into this, but I want to talk to the fucking boss. When I go to a restaurant and the owner comes to my table, looks me in the eye, looks at my wife, smiles and said, is everything okay? Are you enjoying the meal? How's been the service? Listen, for me, that's special. I want to go back there. And there's one thing I guarantee you, with a boss like that, with an owner like that, the quality of service is there because he's listening to the customer. He's connected. He's not relying on a manager or an admin. We have that here 24/7, but there has to be a point of accountability. There has to be a point of communication, and you need to be able to go to the source and get your questions answered. It's very important, and you can't let that go. And there's nothing more important. I have so many other hours to be with the family, to take care of my business, and to work here. But if I can't be available to deal with the actual investors, then I'm too busy and I should be doing something else. And that's something that you have never seen in this space, and you probably won't ever see, but we're raising the bar in every aspect. And it starts with the leader. It starts with the accountability and being there every single day. Sundays, Mother's Days, New Year's, we have to be here. Always.
Because we've seen it before, and again, I'm not going to name projects or name people, but there's projects out there that have, I would say, little to none interaction with the community. We probably all know who I'm on about, but I'm not gonna say it still. And like, you don't hear anything, and it's literally just like feels like your money's at hostage, basically, to put it bluntly, and you don't get answers for this, that, and the other. Whereas with ARK, Atlas, he's always going to be able to answer your questions. There's always going to be at least one of us from the team to be able to answer something that you've got. Any worries, concerns, questions, always going to be there. It's not one of these like, oh, I'm just going to make a project, be an egotistical bastard and just collect everybody else's money. Because like, realistically, if there's anybody I've met with, the person I've met with the least ego is probably Atlas, funnily enough. Like, and that showed more with the when we were doing the consulting with him, because like, he listens, like he actually listens. I mean, he still has a strong head about him. There's things that he wants to do and this, that, and the other, but there's gaps, like he listens and he takes it on board, and that's why this is working so well. I've been a part of like quite a lot of projects before, of some quite high positions with it, but like, the main problem is there's always a dictator, just to put it bluntly, at the top that ends up just skewing everything. And with this, it's just not that case. And that's why I'm so happy. That's why I'm here. Why I'm literally sat in Atlas's house. Because if he was one of the others, there's no way I would. Like, I wouldn't have been working on the project if it wasn't anything other than it was. Because when I first got brought into it, I was obviously like, oh, another project, blah, blah. Then we started working on it, seeing it, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Then we started adding bits, and it was just like, it's just so different. And like, I'm excited for this one. Like, and I'm normally one of these, I normally get early into stuff, go very, very light in, and then it works out good in the future. This, I'm just going to go heavy in, because it's like, it doesn't feel like, okay, this is me personally speaking, and just for me.
NFA.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't like saying NFA or DYOR. They seem like weird words. But me personally, I am going harder into ARK than I have, I think, any other project so far. Because I believe in it. I believe in the ecosystem of it, and I believe in that. Like, and it's this. I'm not in ARK. Like, I don't want to get into ARK to make money. I want to get into ARK to build the ecosystem to help people that don't have money get more money. Like, that's my literal goal. Like, yeah.
Let's go, man. That's on fire.
That's why I got in last week, bought 2 NFT, and get ready. I'll be ready to get another one tomorrow. So one very important question about the Ledger wallet. I'm trying to move a few wallet into one. Can I safely transfer to Ledger wallet? Would it really works perfectly, or do you prefer normal MetaMask?
You're talking about your NFTs before
Yes.
that you bought in the pre-sale. Look,
Yeah.
I don't want to speak out of turn and tell you something that's incorrect, as I personally have not done that and have not been with another investor that has. However, you know, we'll see if our admins here have dealt with that experience before.
So I use SafePals quite a lot. I actually have like 4 or 5 of them. I do have a Ledger Nano, but I'm still like yet to use it. But like, I got my NFTs for ARK on my SafePal. So Ledger will work for it's just it's Ledger to, like, let's say MetaMask. They're essentially the same thing, just SafePal. Somebody's gonna have to like kidnap you and torture you for your code for it, basically. So everything will work exactly the same. It'll be coded in to accept it. If you have SafePal, even MetaMask and Trust Wallet Connect will connect to your SafePal, but we'll probably have SafePal integration as well. It's so Ledgers.
I mean, in the future,
Where is it
when I transfer it to the vault, so the Ledger.
Well, your vault,
perfectly, right?
you can connect your Ledger, from my understanding. You can connect your wallet, you know, to ARK Vault, right, to manage the investment.
Yeah.
Right, you'll be able to do that. But you know, send me a DM. I want to make sure to talk to our tech department and just have clarity. I don't want you to make a mistake. You're going to turn that NFT in and claim it for ARK token into the vault. But I just want to have full clarity. I don't want to tell you something or mislead you, as this is a very important investment for you. So send me a DM, James, and I'll get you an answer from actually, you know, our coders, which are handling that.
And then what about the automation? Because if I put it into the Ledger, that means I won't be able to do action every single day. So the automation is very important, or else I won't.
Correct. The automation is extremely important. You'll have to.
You'll be higher, right?
It'll be a little extra just to make sure, because look, this is very, very important. If you schedule 20 days and you put enough gas, we can't see what that gas is going to be for every transaction. So let's say it's going short 17 days, according to the gas, then an investor could really get caught out in the cold, thinking that he had 20 days. So we're putting into the actual D app notifications. Hey, it's running low, top up. This is not a revenue generating system in ARK. We're not here to make money off of your auto compounds. We will put a buffer, 10, 15, 20%. It's not exactly sure. However, we're not pocketing that. That's going to remain in your balance. So let's say you paid for 20 days on average and it got you 21 days and you still have some over. We'll say, hey, you're still good for another 23 days estimated. So you should be covered to then. So top up and add extra. So we're putting a buffer just so we don't have that situation, because I can imagine a whole lot of investors, because 3, 4, 5 days of you not, you know, doing your compounds and your claims could really destroy your investment. So we're just doing that to make sure that we don't have anyone having an issue. Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto. Yeah. I don't know if you haven't been able to tell so far, but pretty much everybody on the team at ARK has been like burned in various different ways in the past. via developers, investments, this, that, the other. And again, it's like I said before, it's going back to learning from the mistakes of the past and, well, adapting, basically. Being agile development, it's like the greatest thing in the world. Yeah. Because, I mean, example, like let's say Spotify, for example, if like version 1 of Spotify was like the only ever version, I mean, it was good, but not as good as it is now, because constant updates, constant flows into it, and constant work on it. And that's the beauty of this.
Great question.
Thank you.
Send me that DM, James, and I'll get back to you. We still got time. You know, we're poised, we're working, contracts are being tested, and these are all the things that we need the feedback from you guys just to ensure, and we want to test it on our end, you know, before you take the risk out there on them cold crypto streets. Yeah, man.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Great question. Who else would like to unmute their mic, come and ask a question? We'd love to hear from you.
I just want to say this to everyone who's listening. Just the presence alone of these OGs, the team from ArkFi and to SK and Sir Diamond, it's a pretty bullish thing. I'm just really happy to hear their voices and to know that they are part of ARK. I get the integrity of the team is top notch in this space. So yeah, I wish this a success.
Thank you very much, CryptoLove. And just to add on to that, about the reputation of these people, SK Crypto K that he's talking about, crypto influencer, go check out his YouTube. He's a legend. I've known that guy literally for years. We used to like live stream together back in the days. Diamond Hands, who he talked about as well, I have been living with him for the past 3 months. So like, just so you understand the connections here between everybody, like we all know each other, like personally, like very, very personally. I mean, Diamond I live with, you know, SK known for years. Atlas, I'm sat opposite, he fed me. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Like, yeah, good ass team.
Thank you. Thank you. No, absolutely. And you know, the page right now, ArkFi.io, it's not showing all of the team and the advisors as it's in process, because we're having all of our, you know, likeness, our pictures being actually done by an artist. And these are portraits. So that's a part of it. But, you know, we know what we have. We know what we're packing. That's why we're so calm, cool, and collected. Because, you know, we know who we are. We know where we're coming from. We know where we're going, because we've been planning this. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you better, if you're going on such a long journey, you better have, you know, make sure to have all of the resources in place, whether it's food, fuel, knowledge, understanding, spare parts as well, having contracts that you're able to actually upgrade and interact with as we need to pivot as the tides comes. You know, we got a hurricane coming, you know, from the southeast. Okay, we need to, you know, set the sail, head on another course. It's very important. But again, you want to make sure that your captain, that your crew has the experience to take you through those uncertain times, that ice age, keep you afloat from the crypto abyss, right? Because we don't know what's coming. We don't know, but we need to be able to have the right people on board making the decisions. And of course, we got to listen to the investors, the passengers on this long journey, and say, hey, look, you know, there has to be a level. There can't be mutiny happening, of course. So, you know, trust. You got to trust your crew. You got to trust your team, and that comes with I think looking at the quality of the work. And at this point, I think that anything below, you know, just pure quality and excellence is just, it just doesn't work anymore. There's too many folks that are sitting there and copying and pasting code, and you know, calling it, you know, butthole this and the other thing, and you know, we're sad for the folks that have gotten hurt. You know, we ourselves in one way or another, as ArkFi was saying, have all been hurt and damaged. And, you know, as a person, as a human being, you got to pick yourself back up and you got to say, hey, I'm not going to hit myself with the same wall. I'm not going to fall for the same gimmick. I'm not going to, you know, make the same mistake over and over and get into a gambling addiction. Maybe I need to step back and I need to become a real investor. Maybe I need to take a step back and understand that I'm not going to get rich overnight. And that formula is not working for me. It's not putting food on the table. It's not replacing my current income, that job that I hate, that 9 to 5 that I fucking, you know, curse God about, or even more than 9 to 5, a lot of folks. And they're really looking for improvement because everyone has goals. Everybody has dreams. You got to take care of your money. You take care of your money's going to take care of you. But you got to get right, and you need to understand that. And I think everybody here doesn't, you know, particularly need to hear that. They're here for a reason. They've already bought in. They're just understanding that as they look around and you look, who are you standing shoulder to shoulder with? Take a look around. These are leaders. These are fantastic folks that have a lot of experience. And out of everyone, from myself here, the team, the coders, advisors, ArkFi by far has had the most experience in the space, and it's an honor to welcome him here to my home. He's been on a long journey for 2 days to reach here, and there'll be more. And there's been already many that have come and spent time with me. Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto, yeah. And then the developer, oh my God, Mr. Green, what a guy. Like, so again, I have, the best way to put it is post-traumatic stress from crypto developers. I have come across some, I know I like to speak freely, but there's some words I'm not going to use on this podcast, but some less desirable people. And like, we were talking with Mr. Green, and like, I have an impeccable gut, right? So I like to say that my gut and the universe are married, right? And that works for me. My gut check is damn near impeccable. And the only times I've ever gone against it, well, I've learned to very, very much regret it. And my gut with this is just all the way. Like, I'm so high on this. Like, yeah. Yeah, anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns?
So it's tough to follow up after everything that's been said tonight, but I'll give it a go. Obviously, we've heard some really good comments from the community, and you know, ArkFi from yourself. And I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, we're still in the pre-sale. Can you imagine once we've launched and then we start to look at the future of ARK and where it's going, and we start to get some of the other things like the mobile app to really go out and hit the masses. And then eventually, whenever the market turns around, we hit the bull run. And all of us people who have been here for these 24 podcasts and, you know, will keep being here, will be able to look back on these conversations. You know, this really is something amazing that's being created here. And it's an honor to be a part of it. And I'm sure everybody feels the same. The biggest thing for me, coming from not a non-crypto background, is the mobile app. The chance to sign someone or introduce them to, you know, potential financial freedom every time I leave my home is just outstanding. Like, I'm not sure if people have grasped yet how unbelievable that is going to be to onboard and help the ecosystem and help the person that you're introducing to ARK, because, you know, it is a blessing to be a part of this. And then we have going forward the off-ramping, which is another huge thing, because two things that non-crypto people ask is, the most is, how do I do this and how do I get my money out? And to have all of that in one place and not have to introduce all these outside components is just going to make this blow up. So that's my 2 cents.
No, I'm very appreciative. I'm glad that you're part of it, and I'm glad I've been part of it with you. And yeah, and again, for all of those non-crypto people out there that are skeptical, like I can't tell you how little I fuck with fiat. Like it's untrue. Like everything just goes through crypto. Like I said, there's so much more out there. It's just the knowledge, and I think my personal opinion of why this knowledge isn't spread too much goes back to these dodgy developers and dodgy dApps. Because, like, I mean, if you could, let's say you're a dictator, right? You want your people stupid. You don't want them educated. You don't want them to know how to do it right. You want them to do it how it benefits you the most. Whereas what we're doing is pretty much the complete opposite. We want you to know exactly what you're doing, exactly where your money's going, exactly what it's doing. Everything is there. And if something slips through the net and you're unsure, you can ask Atlas. You can ask one of the team. We'll be there to help you. Like, it's not like we're going to do these, launch, and then be like, bye, we're just going to collect this. Like, this is like it's a heart thing rather than a wallet thing. Like, it's like, I mean, a lot of the stuff I've done with crypto has been passion, all about passion, because it's about that thing. Like, I mean, I hate banks. Like, I fucking despise banks, to be honest. And I don't like the fact that there's this like rich man's club that like we're not invited to. We're making our own club, and our club's going to be better. And then all of those rich guys are going to be wanting to come into our club. And they're going to want to be coming in to try and degen our club. And they're going to realize that in trying to degen ARK, they've made ARK stronger and all of you more money in the process. And like, that's the most beautiful thing about it. Like, I'm very, very anti-traditional finance, if you haven't been able to tell. I was like, a few months before I left England, I was actually in a bar talking to somebody who was a banker. And obviously, he was like 100% banking world, and I'm pretty much 100% crypto world. And we were having these like conversations, and it's kind of funny because neither of us liked each other's standpoints. We got on really well, but we had some super interesting conversations. And then it got to like an awkward bit when I was like talking to him. I was like, so what interest rates would you expect to return? I had the unfortunate thing of taking a drink as he told me, and ended up spit taking all over him and the barman. But like, some of them in crypto, the ridiculous returns, and that, I mean, yeah, you can get them, but it's for how long, right? You could get these really great returns for a short amount of time, and then, like you've seen a lot of the dApps in the ecosystem at the moment, they're going to do exactly the same thing, because people want to get out what they can while they can, because if they don't, somebody else will. And like, that's the problem. And like, a lot of things with ARK they just counteract that, basically. Like, it's just nice. It's weird to say something's nice in crypto, but yeah,
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Airfryer. It's like, a lot of these other crypto projects and, just the financial world in general, people tend to be climbing on top of each other, trying to get to the finish line. Whereas at ARK, we all walk shoulder to shoulder and, and in flow and do it together. It's breathtaking. It's, approaching DeFi from a completely different angle and trying to change it for the better in general.
That's it. Yeah, we all grow together. We grow together. Like, all boats rise with the tide, right? Like, but if somebody's stealing all that water, no one's going anywhere.
Absolutely. Brad came in as an investor, and his star was just rising, shining.
Nice.
In his first week with us in phase one, he got like 30 people who never even bought crypto in their life.
Wow.
Sat down, showed him how to put the MetaMask, and he'd come back every day. I got 4 people, I got 5 people, sat there 2 hours, and just kept bringing so much.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
yeah, well, that's something like genuinely. Thank you, because like my whole thing, I want crypto to be bigger. Like I don't want my wallet to get bigger. I want crypto to get bigger. I want it to be mass adoption. So thank you. You've done 30 times more than most other people do, bro. So yeah, GG to you.
GG.
Thanks, appreciate it. That's why I'm looking forward to this mobile app, because if I manage to do that with the whole process of MetaMask and Crypto.com, and this is when Crypto.com put a 24-hour pause for new wallets. So I it was actually 2 visits, not trying to blow my own trumpet or anything like that, but it was 2 visits because I had to do one lot and then go back the next day to get past the 24-hour bar that Crypto.com used to put on there. So an app on my mobile that allows me to, educate someone in a much shorter period of time, and then the process is done there and then. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
This is
And he was a personal trainer, so he's the kind of guy that motivate people to
get
off the couch, get off their lazy ass. Let's get a good diet. Let's go work out. But the COVID destroyed his income and destroyed his business.
Yeah.
So he came in here as an investor, very humble. Hey, I'm a newbie.
Yeah.
And then just, caught on fire. Hey, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go save these souls. Let's bring him into the crypto. And we were impressed by him. And he went from Brad to you can't see the screen right now, but to Bradass.
I'd have called him that as well. Yeah.
Who needs a chat when you got a Brad?
Jesus, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the philosophy here, these guys know me for a long time. You're getting to me now. Is I'm all about taking the average Joe to a savage Joe, right?
Yes,
and he bought in, and he got in, and he moved it. So now he's actually working here full time. He's a paid staff member and a coach in our ecosystem. There's a lot of folks that they don't know how to talk to somebody about an investment.
Yes.
They don't have the people skills, or not a salesperson, or they don't have the time, but maybe they want to up their game.
Yeah.
And they want to go out there and they want to, engage at a bar or at a dinner.
Yeah.
Because this guy was going to talk to somebody like an investor, and then seeing they had a friend over there, like, hey, why don't we move over to that table? And by the time, they were all in, they were all signed up. Hey, what I can earn? Let's get. He had them all saying, let's get this fucking crypto. In 30 minutes,
that's
right?
Cool, yeah. Hell yeah, Bradass. I like that. That's cool. That's good. So you technically have better skills than me in that sense. So my problem is at the moment, so if you like to have the iceberg analogy, too far at the bottom. So people at the top, it becomes very hard because it's like I'm speaking Chinese to them. No, it's not. I'm speaking English. They know the words that I'm saying. They just don't know what they mean, basically. Yeah. So yes, it is proper tricky like that. But yeah, hell yeah. It's good to have you, Bradass. Yeah.
So he's got that role as a coach. So if you want to up your game and you want to get those skills, you want to understand the system inside out, he'll coach you and bring you up so that you could have that confidence and go. And maybe you're not all the way there, but you have someone that you send maybe our promotional videos. Hey, this is how the system works. And you don't want him to, not get the answers to the questions because everybody wants to do their due diligence. So you're busy at work. Send him over to Brad. Brad's customer service, concierge, roll out the red carpet. Hello, sir. Would you like a cup of tea? Please step into my office. So what questions do you have? Well, let's get you set up. What do you have? A MetaMask, a SafePal? How do you want to manage this? Let's get the calculator from Dr. Kelly Snook. And let's say you're putting $200, $100, $1,000, $20,000. Let's, calculate and help them, guide them, because it's very complex stuff. Our motto here is, DeFi simplified.
Yes.
So it's complex.
Yeah.
How does it get simple? By having the education, by having someone to hold your hand, walk you through it. So that person, first of all, could do their due diligence, then analyze their investment, create the strategy to invest so they can manage it and not make a mistake. And then later They, now that they have the knowledge, can go out and talk to a coworker, a friend, James at the water cooler. I'm going to buy the dip on Bitcoin. Hey, listen, little James, what buy the dip? Listen, my friend, get that passive income on a daily basis.
No, that's it. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, go for the long one. I mean, you're going to sit there and light candles to the saints and the archangels and pray. I mean, you're going to get 1,000x on Bitcoin tomorrow? No. Are you going to get it in most projects? No. Can you get it in 6 years if you use a calculator here? 1,000%? Yeah. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. Do not risk what you can't afford to invest. But the profits are there. So there's so much to that. And I haven't seen that ever in any project. And I care about this dude, and I want him to have a home. So we created this position, because part of being a good leader is the ability to identify other leaders
100%,
and say, you got to see their talents and you got to put them in a place, uplift them so that they can be effective. And by bringing other effective folks all around us, shoulder to shoulder, we can be unstoppable, invincible. Let's get this crypto.
Yes.
And they come, and they'll keep coming. And there's people that we haven't even fathomed that are going to come here, that are going to, do them, do you. And we're going to see their star rising. And we're all going to notice, because that's what happened with Brad. Everyone took notice.
So when I tell people to get into crypto, I basically say, imagine you are setting that money on fire and saying goodbye to it. That's what you put in. And then if you make it, it's good. If it's not, you haven't lost anything you couldn't earn to lose. Because it's, so it was fucking 2017 when people were putting mortgages out on the house. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
I felt bad for that, because I ended up making a fair amount from that. But again, playing the not greedy, stable game. Whereas people were putting mortgages on the house to get crypto up, and then it just, and that made everybody start to hate crypto. But it's like people say to me, they're like, oh, you're not worried it's all going to collapse and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, it would take, there needs to be a solar flare to wipe out all of the electricity on Earth, to technically wipe out all of crypto. But then if you're going to say what if Bitcoin drops to a ridiculously low amount? My own personal feeling is here, it doesn't really matter. It's like cold fusion, right? It's going to happen eventually.
Wow.
So crypto, okay, we'll make a better explanation.
You came here for the truth, guys. You're getting it.
The better explanation is, let's say Bitcoin, 100K, right? 100,000 Bitcoin. The way I personally see it is, it's inevitably going to happen. Now, it could be tomorrow, could be in 10 years, could be in 20 years. But it's the way the world's moving. And I think a lot of the main thing is it's people get caught up in the crypto itself, whereas this blockchain technology that's really, really going to change the world. So it's realistically been on, the ledger whole system's been around in the shipping industry for longer than you can imagine. But moving on to it now, I mean, think about banks, think about taxes from your government, right? You have to do your tax returns and blah, blah, blah.
That's
all.
They'll take it right away, every transaction.
Just whatever needs to come out will come out. And I have no problem with that. That's absolutely fine. That's great. There's no fucking around with taxes if you don't.
We do it with the roaming. When you go to another country, it's automatically, you don't have to go and find a transaction. No, you connect to the tower. You're getting hit with the roaming fee, and your wallets will do the same thing.
In the US, I think it is. If you don't pay, you get massively done over for money that you didn't even know you needed to this. And it's but whereas the blockchain removes the whole need, or Web3 technology in the blockchain removes the need for people sat at a computer inputting information and maybe making mistakes and this, that, and the other, because it's all there. It's all there constantly. And you can't really change it unless you could hack every single node on the planet. But it's just.
We have a question from one of our investors. He says, I have a problem with government having oversight over our money. You don't?
Yes and no. So it really, really depends how you go about it. You can either off-ramp through a centralized exchange, I guess, which will work from that. Or you could just help on ramp somebody else, not financial.
P2P, which is,
like,
and we're offering, we're working on a solution for off ramping with an offshore account with your debit card, and that's cool. But I think he means more of like what you're saying, that you're happy to pay the taxes in a jurisdiction, and he's asking you, but I would like to interdict into there.
Like, nothing with me is about avoiding anything like that at all. The thing with me is about ease of everything, right? So I throw down tracks in front of a moving train that is going so fast it's untrue. Like, I book things last minute. Everything's last minute for me because it just does. So it's just the way that I am, I guess. Yeah.
But look, it's a way that the world is. Whether it was a crown, a dictator, or a pope in Rome, there's always going to be the man.
But I mean,
it's just the way it is, and you have to pay your dues, or they torture you. They cut your balls off like William Wallace. It's it's just.
Yeah, we did do that to him. Sorry if there's any Scottish in
it's just the way the world is, and an idea of an utopia is nice, but you got to live in reality, and you got to understand that the world is an incredible experience, and you're on this journey. But there's certain rules that you need to abide by. And unfortunately, not everyone in power is doing things correctly or for the best benefit. But generally, overall, unless you get to a point where you could really be a whale and buy your own island, or live here where I do in paradise, there has to be some sort of compromise, or find the tax structures for yourself offshore, where you're following the rules and you're not going to end up in a jail somewhere. So that's not our responsibility here at ARK. It's really up to every single one of you to follow. And we do recommend that you do follow your jurisdiction, whatever law that you live in.
But on the same lines as that question, there is a project, I won't talk about it properly, but there's a project I'm working on. And one of our aims is it's a country somewhere else. We're trying to actually get it to taxes come out through blockchain, basically.
Nice.
Like, because my main thing is, if there's going to be a rule that I have to follow, I want to be one of the ones writing the rule, right? Because somebody else is probably going to do it disgustingly horribly. I like to look
like Churchill say, history will judge us right, because we're going to write history.
Exactly. No,
and that's what we're doing here at ARK, guys.
And
we are writing history, so it will judge us right.
And it's about morality, not money, and that's the key thing over everything is morality. You stay moral, you're golden, and you'll have really, really good night's sleep. If you're immoral, you're probably not going to sleep well. I mean, if you're not sleeping well because you have a condition, that doesn't mean you're immoral, just for the record. But
let's transition here into Z's part of the podcast. I know it's late, very late where he is, so I do want to give him the chance to come on board and do his magic. Share with us that alpha that we're all growing so accustomed to every single night. Thank you for being here, Mrs. Z. We're chatting here away, but I want to make sure that you get center stage.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. I'm enjoying the conversation here. Welcome AirFryer, welcome Bridge DeFi. You guys are awesome. And I look forward to having many of these sort of educational talks and just slingshot bar talk like we do in the UK. And if anytime you or Brad ever want to meet up in London, do let me know. That's where I'm associated. But yeah, I've since you guys were speaking, I start getting a bit of DMs from the crowd. So the crowd is DMing me, and I just want to first start off with the first DM, which was, Z, what is Bitcoin's hash rate? And what does Atlas mean by it being on an all-time high? So the Bitcoin hash rate is something you can say as general as solving a puzzle. And when you're trying to find the next sort of computation of a mind, so you're trying to find the next sort of you can say block on Bitcoin's hash rate to put some energy through, you got to have computation. A lot of energy gets used. The Bitcoin hash rate currently takes 0.6% of the world's total energy. So we shouldn't go into the carbon footprint of it, but yeah, it takes a bunch of computation power to find the next block. And when things are at prices as we see Bitcoin is right now, 15 to 16,000, when we see Ethereum at the price that it is, that's when we see computation to be high. And so we're currently going through a little dip in price action. But just like we have the bond rates going up and the yields going up in treasuries, we see the same thing happening with Bitcoin, where Bitcoin hash rate is at its all-time high. So people are, in fact, investing more time in places that are cooler, like Iceland or Canada's, to really put into the computation and earn those blocks on especially on things like Bitcoin, and especially when things like Lightning Network are to take place on Bitcoin. So commerce is starting to build up. So that's what hash rate is. It's like solving a puzzle, but doing it in hyperloop speed, finding the next sort of block on the blockchain. So that's what hash rate is. And yeah, we're currently, if you use websites like blockchain.com, you can in fact see the hash rate in real time and see the data. And I would advise a lot of people that are new to crypto to look at the data, look into charts a bit more. If you're a technical investor, to look into candlesticks. And yeah, so Bitcoin hash rate can be measured, just like the carbon footprint, just like all candlesticks can be. So yeah, use websites like blockchain.com to see the hash rate. And if you can see currently, it's at an all-time high. So that's the Bitcoin hash rate. The other thing I want to sort of like pay regards to is a bunch of you are going through Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving to a lot of you. And Thanksgiving is a place where it's a month before Christmas, and it's a good time to have like real splendid conversations about many things, self-care, health, when it comes to shopping or bad habits or gossip, as we always do with our families. But it's a good place to also talk about crypto and to look into the last year. And my family in America are going through that, and they did Zoom me, and I did speak to them about my sort of opinion of where crypto is right now and why it is where it is. And I did briefly, so I'm going to do the same thing here. And if you guys want to just mute your mics and take this in as like a radio frequency, and we can kind of uh, uh, absorb why crypto is at the price that it is as it is. So guys, realize we went through COVID for years, and when we go through recession or we go through like a global pandemic as we have, the interest rates go low, and the interest rates go low so folks can sort of afford things, businesses, our self-employment sort of endeavors, the entrepreneurs, and especially when a pandemic happens and we have to adapt to technology, rates go low, and what it basically indirectly did was it pumped their severance checks in the UK. Sorry, did someone want to say something? My voice is repeating.
Taylor, if you don't mind muting your mic, we're getting a lot of feedback from you, mate.
So sorry.
Yeah, no worries. All good, Taylor. But yeah, so crypto is in a place where we had a bunch of sort of interest rates being taken down, and what that did for the public was it ramped up investments in crypto, and people taking more risk, and people saying, you know what, the fiat up till now, my savings account has not been paying me back, so let's go back into crypto and buy some of these tokens. Now, when I started to like educate on DeFi and making folks understand what decentralized finance was, the question really was, what like should I buy Bitcoin right now? Should I buy Ethereum right now? I'm like, before you can buy these tokens, like do encourage yourself to learn about the technology, because the more you understand the utility, the more you're going to basically understand the ecosystem. And once you understand the ecosystems, you'll know what projects are upcoming. So when first started off like the meme coins and fake weren't as high as they used to be. But now what we see is, after utilities got broken, they can start to endorse and make memes out of things and had fun with them. We had sort of
Z, we are losing you a bit, mate. You're into the matrix a little bit there, buddy.
From roadmaps. My voice is repeating again, Brad. What seems to be the issue? Is it me?
I was just letting you know that you were going very static, bit robotic-y, cutting in and out.
Oh no. What about now? Can you hear me now?
You sound absolutely fine now, sir.
Okay, I'll when I get enthusiastic, I think the Matrix wants to glitch me. So I'm gonna speak very slowly and it's gonna be an ASMR session. But yeah. So
Let's go.
but yeah, as long as you can hear me, so Thanksgiving is a place where you meet your families and you talk about things. So yeah, so we had high interest rates, and when we have high interest rates, a bunch of investments went into not into utility but into your Shiba Inus and Doges, and then we had celebrity endorsements. We had FTX sort of endorse your Larry Davids and your Tom Brady's, and we looked into the Super Bowl, and we bought crypto.com. And the issue is when something's advertised in the public the way it is, guys, it's because it's in demand. It's because it's an all-time high. So when I told my folks to wait for a dip, they listened. And whenever you buy a token at a dip, that's when you can sort. So it's important to technical analysis. It's important to do your research, and it's also important to get into things early, like we are here in you can say in ARK. We're trying to get into the seed rounds early. We're going to get into the NFTs earlier, the public rounds. And just like that, there's a website that I want you guys to check out. It's called icodrops.com. And what icodrops.com does is it basically shows you upcoming projects they're about to launch on all nets, from Cardano to BNB chain to Ethereum. Also look at how much they're raising in funds, and you can also learn about their utility. For example, right now, Astra Protocol has ended its seed round of $9 million, and that's a bunch of endorsement, and it's basically going to be the KYC because no, we don't believe KYC in DeFi as much as we do. The world still does, and it's still a big utility. A lot of utility, a lot of energy companies, a lot of real estate, and a bunch of banks. We all still do KYC for customers. So people still want a solution of KYC. So a project like Astra Protocol is something you can learn about and see what they raised, what their board members are. So it's important to understand the utility of token that you're getting into, at what stage you're getting into, and also seeing where you are on your profit margin. So whenever my family and friends, for example, when Solana was starting to get big and it was going from $17 to $30, I told my friends and family to get into to Solana. And when it hit $220, I told my family and friends to take profits now. A few of them took profits. A few of them, kept the price action going and thought it was going to $400 and $1,000. That's when the mind and the psychology gets greedy, and that's when we should take our initials out in anything and pay ourselves, as Atlas say. So thus far, Brad, am I constant and not static? And I can continue.
It is a little bit intermittent, mate, but I don't want to keep interrupting you. Can I just check with somebody else? Is it my end, or is everybody finding it's a bit breaking up?
A little bit, but it's fine. It's good. We can hear it. No breaking up.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps it's my end. You continue, Z. Perhaps it's my end.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'm in the mountains, so the 4G connection might sort of interrupt me, but as I said, I'll continue on and try to make it as brief as possible. So yeah, do check out ICO drops for new projects that are coming in. Do your due diligence, and don't go on FOMO meaning fear of missing out, because there's always going to be an opportunity in DeFi. Do not buy Bitcoin at $100,000. Always look for utility, look for passive income, look for you can say dApps that really good ROI, because you're going to constantly see that. You're going to see like currently we were going through ARK. We previously had that with Wagyu Swap. We had it with Velis Chain. We had it with Binance Smart Chain back in the day, and there's always gonna be opportunities. So that's how I would approach Thanksgiving. I would understand. I'll make folks understand the sort of economical side of things. We can understand the utility of things, and if like just be realistic. Always looking to keep parking your crypto in a MetaMask wallet or a Trust wallet or something that's decentralized, because it's important to take it off decentralized exchanges, because we're trying to move into DeFi. So that's what's going to lead me into the next chapter. So we're about to go through an ETH merge, which not ETH merge, but another upgrade to ETH, and it's going to be the Shanghai upgrade. And basically folks are going through, you can say, proof of stake and higher grounds. I mean, like proof of stake has been out here through Binance Smart Chain and other sort of mainnets, but we're starting to see that in Ethereum. And one of the biggest updates here is that transaction rates are going to be more simpler. And right now we're going through gas fees, so if you could say $15 to $20 to $30 on Ethereum, and that will start to go even lesser and lesser. So they're still moving on TPS through Beacon Chain, but they're also gonna allow folks with the smaller margin to stake on their things. I think before it was sort of 199 ETH that you needed to like stake on Beacon Chain. They're gonna sort of decrease that, and you're gonna be able to basically stake, and not just stake, but also be able to withdraw. So that's the great news with Ethereum. Now there's something I want to give an update to, because we all use MetaMask for things, and the Web3 protocol that powers things like MetaMask is Infura, and we've talked about privacy a few times, and realized that, guys,
tracking, right?
it's like, yes, it's IP tracking. Yes, so yeah, there we go, Neto. You've told the story before I could, but yeah, so they've just come out. Consensus, the company behind Infura, just actually went onto publicly, onto their Twitter, and says, and this was their statement. They said, Consensus is committed to maintaining the high standards when it comes to your privacy. Also, we collect basically every available piece of data from your other than your DNA sample. If you aren't using custom RPC for MetaMask, I'd suggest you do so. So yeah, we can sort of use custom RPC into MetaMask and be able to keep anonymous there. But these are moments where sort of like a VPN is durable, because these tech companies, it could be anybody from your Chromes, your Facebooks, and now we're going into Web3. Even your Web3, like data collection is nothing new. It's something that these folks do to see where the error happened in like a bug, or why things. So data collection is going to continue, and if you want to keep private, you can use custom RPCs. And as we start to grow our ecosystem, we will sort of give instructions on that. Neto, did you want to say something?
This is very, very important. So for our sake, yeah. If you don't use, if you just use a VPN, do you still recommend changing the RPC for like every chain when we use Meta?
Yeah, I do. I think our privacy is important to that stage, where like if we're using MetaMask to go through decentralized finance, that it's important that we keep our transactions anonymous. I don't care who the party is, and there's ways of doing that. There's actually Medium articles on how to keep a custom RPC, but a VPN does help. It does help keep anonymous. But that's my sort of consensus. What do you think, Neto? When you saw this this article come up, what was your first opinion?
Yeah. So I don't like anything that tries to invade our privacy, and I think I've echoed that, so people kind of know where I stand. But I'm vehemently opposed to any attempt to track, control, restrict, limit anything personally, and also privacy. So basically,
the defaults RPC is something that we want to swap. That's my what I gather from what you say. So of course I use a VPN. So I guess we need to do two things. With that said, is there anything else that would be needed? Because ultimately, I think they're doing this for tax reporting. Ultimately, they want to use it for tax reporting. Maybe the OECD is putting pressure on third parties, like they had issue, and then governments want to use that as guidance to have exchanges and on third parties providers to do reporting for any kind of swaps, things like that, and transfers. So I think this is probably part of the story. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, you can use custom RPCs for things like BNB chain and for ERC20 for Ethereum mainnet, and you can also do it for other things like you can say like sort of VeChain and others. And we will give tutorials, but if you do a small Google search or a YouTube search, there's always an article available or YouTube video to help. And there's quite a few of them. So yeah, but as we sort of maintain our Discord and start building that sort of repertoire, we're going to start to actually give sort of videos and updates that we see like favorable to changing custom RPCs. So yeah, we'll look into that for sure, Neto.
Can I add a little bit of feedback? I know you're in the middle of your lecture, but is it okay regarding the card? The ramping, is that okay?
Sure.
See you or later.
Go
I appreciate it. What I was gonna say briefly is that in my groups and stuff, I'm getting there's a demand to ramp out. So if we can get that card, basically, if we can get that debit card, like an ARK debit card out, not just for purposes of using fiat to buy ARK. I mean, I think that's part of the plan in phase one, launch phase. But if we could get that other better, that would be superior, and that would be a very good pull for people who want more privacy and want to use it as it would essentially be like a standalone in addition to the utility of the project, the DApp. So I highly favor that. In fact, I was considering a standalone, another one that has it. I don't know if I should name it, but I am interested in it personally, and others as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's a in-demand, sought feature, standalone utility that would be benefit the ecosystem, I believe.
Awesome. Thank you, Neto. Thank you for your constant insight, and that's why you have the microphone. But yeah, we'll DM me or Alice, and we will bring it to the team and look into that, because yeah, privacy is important, and it's important that our data is either working for us and we get a commission out of it, or it basically is not shared with third parties, especially with governments and sort of centralized beings. So I agree with you. So I'll continue, Neto, unless you have any opinions. No worries. So I will continue.
Say again. I couldn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah. I'm saying I'm going to continue with the program. Do DM us the many ideas that you have, and we can sort of work that. But I appreciate it.
Get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto. So yeah, I will continue. And basically, one thing that sort of saddened me today is Ardana. Ardana was supposed to be the curve, basically the sort of DApp protocol for Cardano, and unfortunately they've not been able to, because of the bear market, they've not been able to get the funds to really bring in their utility, because the developers and their time is important, and it costs money. So unfortunately, things like Ardana, sort of Dana, as a sort of token rights, came out with this. So they go, unfortunately, due to recent developments with regards to funding and project timeline uncertainty, Ardana projects has had to come to a halt. Our code will remain open source. So they keep their code open source for developers, but this was supposed to be the next MakerDAO or the Curve Finance of Cardano. So it's unfortunate there. And this will lead me on to the next sort of story, which sort of covers with CZ. So since the FTX debacle, realized that FTX was interconnected with a bunch of really cool consensus mechanisms. So see.
AZ, I think you're back in the matrix. Hello?
He is in Matrix.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Just a few more articles, and then I'll be done, and we can sort of open up the commentary. But I had so much to share. No worries, no worries. I'll be in the city tomorrow. And hopefully Wi-Fi won't be an issue. It's just the mountains. But yeah, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue on if you guys can hear me. So yeah, Binance are raising $1 billion for crypto recovery funds. Could buy FTX assets. So what's happening is FTX did fund a bunch of really good use case utilities in DeFi, and basically including folks like, you can say, Tron from Justin Sun from Tron, and Simon sort of Dixon, right? So these folks are adding to the trust fund, and and basically CZ came out with a tweet saying that a lot of projects don't need recovery in 2023. They need recovery now. So yeah, so they're creating a fund to recover such projects. So I hope Ardana is one of them, just personally, because it was a really unique project in what it did. Now the other thing, the last thing I'm going to sort of talk about is utility, because if we're going to bring, you can say 100 trillion from the, you can say, real estate industry, or 100 trillion from any of the central banks, or 100 trillion from the big banks, your Goldman Sachs and stuff, we need to give them the products to be used. So one a project that I got into seed round with, and it just made headlines, is Onomy, ONOMY. Do look into it. So they made some big stories today saying, so the article reads, DeFi protocol raises $10 million from Bitfinex, Ava Labs, despite turbulent markets. So what Anomi was supposed to be is, it's a project that's based on Cosmos blockchain, and it's for leverage trading. It's for people to exchange on decentralized places, and they've basically raised quite a bit of funds in a bear market. Realize, guys, in a bear market is where utility really gets made, because we go through our mistakes and we sort of ravel and improve our dApps, and we realize, like, there is a disconnect between the real world and the DeFi world, and it's because of concerns like privacy. It's also concerns of like using old sort of financial modules like order books, and introducing things like liquidity pool. It's also because the SEC sort of are sort of building their knowledge base, and we know governments are slower. But it's sort of fruitful to hear things like Onomi raising $10 million, and for Astra Protocol to be raising $1 billion in a bear market. So that concludes my you can say news for today. And if any of you want to like open up the commentary and sort of talk over me, because the matrix is glitching me at times. But hopefully by tomorrow I should be fine. But I appreciate you guys.
Hey, Z, that Binance Recovery Fund, it's huge. How do they qualify? Is it mature projects? What kind of things are being recovered or
Yeah,
bailed out?
yeah. So someone tweeted out to CC the same question, and he goes, "What are you looking to buy from FTX?" And what he said was, FTX did fund a various amount of projects. Some of them really had no utility. Some of them were shows. Some of them had vague roadmaps, but there was others that really had utility, that were actually building development teams and ecosystems. And he goes, those are the sort of ones that he's vouching for, the ones that have a GitHub, the ones that have a real development team, or one that really built an ecosystem and were just maybe $1 million or $2 million away from really going public with marketing with it. So those are the kind of projects that he's going to go for. Did that answer the
Sounds like you
question?
need a good set. Yeah, it's good, but sounds like you need a good connection.
Sorry.
Can you repeat the last sentence?
Yeah, I do need better connection, guys. I do.
I see. Can you repeat the last sentence?
The last sentence was that CZ is going for utility.
No, bro. To CZ, you need a good connection to him, like connections, like network connection.
Oh yeah, I do. If any of you are connected to Binance, do put me in communication with CZ, and I'll have many opinions for him.
Wait, you're not hanging out with him?
Repeat that for me, Neto. I apologize.
Just catch him in the Bahamas someday.
Absolutely. I will go to Bahamas in January, and I will see. Appreciate, and then maybe Dubai. Maybe he's in Dubai. I like going as well.
I believe he was supposed to be a speaker. Yeah, one of them in one of those main tour the main track conferences, right? Like World. There's a variety of them, right? So yeah, Dubai or Singapore or yeah, could be.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, guys, like as I said, happy Thanksgiving to a lot of you, and please, if you have folks that have been hit by crypto or didn't understand their investment opportunity, do be able to explain to them that we are in the sort of infant stages of crypto, and to look into utility much more, understand ecosystem, understand fundamental technicals, and then hopefully when Christmas comes a month later, and you guys are all at the sort of dinner table and having food and beverages, that y'all are able to basically have learned something in that month. So use this month, use Thanksgiving and Christmas as an exercise with the family, and build your knowledge base, because we are going back up. Bitcoin hash rate is at its all-time high. Ethereum is going to be going through this so you can say upgrade very soon. Proof of stake is getting bigger and bigger, and DAO, some DAOs are buying up stadiums and sport companies, as Atlas and me have talked about before. In a bearish market is when utility gets built, and we have folks like Brad and air fryers that sort of come from the real world, and can really really give us great knowledge. So it's been a great day. It's been a great week, where we've had discussions on, like yesterday we had cybersecurity. The day before we had sort of the utility of NFTs and how the real estate bubble can be sorted with it. And we had Florida Realtor give his opinion. So do keep plugging in, and whoever wants in for the pre-sales, it's tomorrow. There's going to be 800 NFTs available, and it's one per wallet. And yeah, this place is building, and I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to a Good Friday for a lot of you. And if you guys are lucky ones that get to the NFTs, then kudos to you. Got in early. This is what these get into things early. Yourself, and that's the biggest ability you can have as an investor. That's all I'm gonna say before the matrix glitches in. But thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, Z. It's a pleasure to hear your updates about the market. You're really plugged in and dialed in on what's going on. It's really great to have that lens from your perspective.
Yeah, I agree. The podcast wouldn't be the same without you anymore, Z. We've really become accustomed to getting the alpha from you and listening to your opinions. And I think you're teaching everyone, whether you're new to crypto or you're very experienced. You know, it's all very insightful stuff. And I look forward every night to hearing your opinions and what you've got to tell us. So thank you very much, mate.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. And I'll be here every night whenever the internet allows me and the matrix doesn't glitch me. I will always post knowledge, and hopefully when we start building our Discord, there's going to be rampant news and channels and teams being built, and we're going to have multiple conversations on everything from cybersecurity to protection to privacy to all the updates. But I'd like to see AirFry there more and Bridge DeFi folks there as well. You guys are as knowledgeable as can be. So we're looking forward to a fun, good, you can say, public round tomorrow. And then I'm looking forward to that. And as I get into the city, I am going to miss the ecosystem that I'm leaving here in the mountains. And maybe when we stop, we can have a raw discussion about that. But thank you guys, appreciate it. Atlas, any opinions on the news given or air? I'd like your opinions as well.
Well, man, all I gotta say is I'm very bullish. Great job, man. Love it. Are you excited about tomorrow?
Very, very excited about tomorrow.
All right, we're gonna play the game we've been playing for the past couple of weeks with our private and pre-sales, and I've given the staff and also the investors here an opportunity to guess, to see who actually nails it. How long is it gonna take? Is it a 2? Is it a 5 minutes? A 10? Is it a 2-day? I've always played it careful, and I'm happy if in 3 days we're fully sold out. I'm more than just ecstatic and grateful. So why don't we play that round, and let's just hear some ideas of what round 3 is going to be.
Well, I think I've been pretty close to both of them. I think tomorrow is going to be similar to the previous round. There's slightly less NFTs going, so I'm going to say 10 minutes.
Hey, Brad.
I'm going to say 5 minutes, guys.
6 minutes. Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Thanksgiving,
7.
the it might slow down a little bit, but the supply is a little bit less, and one per definitely is
7 minutes.
good. How soon before the start can you validate the BUSD?
You can do it now.
If you are using the same wallet, you won't have to revalidate reapprove your BUSD. It's only done one time.
All right, folks. You've casted your votes and your opinions. Hey, Mr. Juan, tree hugger, the resident culturalist, the herbalist of ARK. Are you there, sir?
Hey, I'm here, just listening away.
How are you feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. Good. I'm nursing these, or not nursing. What am I saying? I'm watching. My wife thought that was funny. I'm watching these 2 pumpkin pies in the oven over here. So I'm just chilling, enjoying Thanksgiving. How are you doing,
Happy
Atlas?
Thanksgiving, brother. Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you.
Did you answer my DM from the other day? Let's see here. I'm going to check. Oh, no, you didn't.
No, yeah, I don't think I've gotten around to that one yet. Was that yesterday I sent that? Yeah.
Are we calm, cool, and collected and moving on to bigger and better pastures?
Yeah, we are, man. The whole selling of the house and everything is basically we just got to do the papers. We got the appraisal done and everything like that. So it's got to sign the old papers, and yeah, man, like I was saying in that message, the the knowledge you guys are sharing with Z was touching on it earlier, you know, the greed and stuff like that. If I had not had that knowledge when it came to selling the family house here, I think things might have been a little bit different, but because the market and everything like that, and I had a perspective, you know, to not follow that greed index to a place where it would be unbeneficial for me. So yeah, no, I appreciate you guys a lot. I'm thankful for you all.
Let's get this crypto.
Get this crypto.
Thank you, Juan. I'm happy for you. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh man, we've got royalty in the house here from Bridge DeFi. Mr. Chris Dugan, live and direct. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. How are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Happy Thanksgiving. How's everybody doing? I hope they had a good Thanksgiving. If you celebrate that here in the States.
I recognize that voice. How's it going, bro?
What's up, Bearfire? I heard you were popping in there today.
Yeah, I've had like maybe 30 hours of flights almost straight over the past few days. I got here to a lovely steak dinner by Atlas.
Awesome. I'm pretty stuffed myself. I had a bunch of turkey and ham and dressing.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Thanksgiving, brother. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't leave enough room for the blueberry cobbler, so I'm trying to rest on that a little bit so I can get some of it before I go to bed. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were, man. You are always attending here, sharing with the ARK family as a great syndicate founder and advisor. So we're taking care of your boy over here, man. We got him set up. He's got his own suite over here in the ARK HQ private bathroom with a view of the sky.
It's amazing. Yeah. ARK HQ is the best HQ. Yeah.
It ain't Google. It ain't Google headquarters level, but you know, it ain't the campus. But you know, we're humble people, man. We do what we can.
Absolutely. Well, great. Yeah, it should be a good experience for both of you.
Absolutely, man. He's gonna be feeding the chickens in the morning. Well, morning for me is noon, but anyway, we work endless hours here. But yeah, he's gonna feed the chickens, the wild ones.
Which means
he was trying to feed the monkeys when he was down in South Africa, so they can add that to his list.
Everybody hated me in South Africa for that because you're really not supposed to feed them. But how can you be nasty to animals, you know? That, and I did want a monkey army. I'm not gonna lie.
So, Chris, you ready for tomorrow, man? You loaded. You got your BUSD set.
Oh,
ready to make it happen. It's the last and final one, bro.
I know it. I'm gonna have to get a couple of computers and a wallet ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, I even saw there's going around a whole little sniper tutorial how to make sure that you get into ARK on YouTube. How to set up a bunch of browsers and different wallets, a MetaMask, and they're looking for it. And now more than ever, Chris, there's a lot of stuff going around that it just makes sense what we're doing here, taking the time, doing the research and doing the changes, the tweaks, understanding that we don't want to have to put on the clown nose later and have to change the promises. And we've seen enough of that happen. And it just goes, not that we're better than anybody else, not that we're smarter than anybody else. It's just that we've had the opportunity of the fact, that saying hindsight is 2020 and ARK is hindsight 2020.
Yep.
We've been able to analyze it, level the playing field, and there could be somebody that's coming back, 3-4 months from now that could even take ARK to another level. Maybe they want our liquidity control. Maybe they want our mobile app. Maybe they want to, use, our DeFi as a service But all that's going to come right back here to that community, to these great investors that are here with us from day one. You know, we want those partnerships. I mean, Bridge DeFi is an amazing team, what you guys are doing. Can't wait to have you guys over here for an AMA. So there's a lot of growth.
I think we're going to try to plan that next week. Right.
Let's get this crypto.
Hey,
let's get it. And then let's get out. Yeah.
Hey, buddy. I was gonna say, definitely, because what you said resonated, because the fact that people change rules after starting, and then you play by the rules and then they change it again. That I understand their pivots and all. That's fine. However, it becomes excessive and it makes the game less appealing. Okay, over time. So, two parts here. One is it going to be immutable with the contracts, or how do you, what's your take on that? And then also, I wanted to throw out a potential idea. I don't know if it's possible, but basically, dynamic emissions is one thing. When you could, obviously, that's not probably gonna. It's one idea where you could adjust the emissions based on based on the price action. But the other idea could be, since we're using an LMS, is to provide a dynamic LMS range based on liquidity. So that could be something to do, and that can give people hope on a greater upside even after you set it. So I don't know, it's just throwing out there. I was thinking about it because that, yeah.
And Nato, I gave a speech. It wasn't just an answer tonight regarding immutable. If you could find the time to check this recording when it's completed and go back through it, I think you'll be satisfied with my answer on how that all comes together and through the experience. It's not just theory, it's actual practice that we've done here. So listen to that. And as far as the dynamic, yeah, that's the word. There's not only dynamic into it, there's AI, there's intelligence, where you're looking at volume and you're understanding the different levels that you can play in. You know, we're not pegged. I want to make it clear. You know, this is not Horde LMS that's incorporated, tied into ARK. This is our own proprietary system. You know, think of a dragon with many heads and many ways to be able to manage liquidity and bring, you know, stability and growth. Because, you know, we're not just here for the bear. You know, we're here for years. We want the bull as well. I mean, can you hear it?
Oh. So it is going to be a dynamic LMS based on liquidity.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you too much, man. This is proprietary information, but right now we're living the, and you know, we're making the best of it. But brother, we're here to pivot. We're here to adjust. We're here to follow the trends, to be innovative. Let me repeat that. Innovation is very, very important. I mean, look at Apple. I mean, they were able to innovate. If they just, you know, played in a little sandbox, you know, they'd be stuck, you know, back, you know, with a, man, let me even go back there. But listen, we need to be able to adjust and seize the opportunity. However, maintaining those volatile swings of the typical chart that you see over and over again, which is a huge pump. And then, you know, you've got the, you know, those pre-sailers and all those folks, especially at a launch, getting out. So, you know, that's not happening here. So we don't have to concern ourselves with that. That's actually helping our system, the more volume and pump and liquidity, volatility that's coming through as we manage it. But we want to be able to dynamically adjust to the volume and to maintain a stable rate of return, you know, with I think a knowledgeable and understanding, you know, quote unquote bottom, but not just, you know, pegged with nails in a coffin type of situation. Let's get this crypto.
That sounds really good. I'm trying to listen to the subtlety there, but that sounds really good. Thanks.
Just to like reiterate, this is not a copy and nothing in ARK is copy and paste. It is ground up. Like it's all ground up built. So it's not like an LMS that you would have seen before. Like it is LMS plus, if anything.
Yeah, it's dynamic. That sounds great. Excellent. adaptive, dynamic to different conditions. That's exact. That sounds good.
Absolutely, man. Look, we're here to make you happy, Nito. You and every other investor here. You guys are all important, vital, pillars of the foundation as you're all in so early, man. And there is no guarantees in crypto. And there's two things that I don't like to ever say, and those are the word trust and promises. That just doesn't fly. It's about action. It's about delivering, and not just delivering, but a quality product from a team that has the experience. That's something else that we don't emphasize enough. The quality of the folks that we're surrounded with, that we're working with on a daily basis, shoulder to shoulder, making sure that everything is safe, viable, and really giving everyone a fair playing field to grow. Oh, we got Brett Norden, man. How much turkey did you eat? I know you're vegan, so how much tofu?
I didn't eat any turkey. I just had the mashed potatoes and the sweet potatoes and the bread. That was about it. It was good though. Yeah, just chilling out. We just have a little campfire going outside in the backyard, so it's good.
Are you still in the coma yet?
Oh, no, I don't eat that much. I don't eat that much.
Yeah, we got somebody special over here at the HQ of ARK.
Do you eat the impossible meat? Impossible meat?
No. Oh, is it air? Air fires there?
Yeah, I traveled halfway across the to be here. Yeah,
that's so cool. Definitely. Are you liking it so far?
Oh hell yeah, yeah! I like it just as much as I love ARK. Like it's all.
That's cool. I got to get over there someday.
Yes, yeah, you do. 100%.
That's great. I see we got Chris Dugan in the house. Nito.
Oh yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, Brett.
Juan the tree hugger. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Good. And don't worry about it. You didn't eat too much tonight. I ate your portion over here.
That's great. What did I miss? You guys get it all figured out?
Not without you, man. It's impossible. This is the brains. This is the creator of the Matrix right here.
Yep.
No, sir.
That's good. I thought I'd just drop in and see what you guys were up to.
Oh man, having a great time and great conversations. He came through and shared a lot of developments in DeFi. Air was on, man. He was out here, sharing the knowledge, man. Out of all of us, man, he's the one that's been here in crypto the longest.
Yeah, I kind of got on a roll that I haven't been on in a very, very long time about crypto. Actually, it's weird. I don't know. I think it's Atlas bringing it out of me. I don't know. No, I think it's exactly Atlas bringing it out of me because there's been so I've been in quite a while. So it becomes very, very hard to give advice to people who haven't been in crypto for that long. But then, especially with, let's say, the past year that we've had in DeFi, it's become even harder for me to speak on things because it's like, people are listening, which is why you'll notice I normally say things like, this is my personal opinion. Like, I don't tend to say not financial advice or DIYOR because I don't like those buzzwords, but like, it's what I think. But yeah, Atlas has very, very much brought it out of me because it's a strong project. I mean, it's a strong project because I'm working on it. Chris is working on it. Diamond's working on it. SK's working on it. And then Atlas and Brett are like heading it, like steering the ship. It's, yeah, it's a team I love just as much as Bridge. Yeah. And the two teams that I'm the most grateful to have because that's the most important thing is having a good team behind you, right? You can be one person and do this, that, and the other, but you're the sum of your parts, right? And those parts are the team that you have around you. And these teams around everything, people are good at all sorts of different things. And it's like the mixing pot of all of those skills that is going to make ARK what it is, what it will be. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and more, because there's a lot more coming to it. This is like phase 1 of X amount. I can't divulge.
Yeah, I always say that. I said it's more than just contracts. You know, at the end of the day, you got to have that continuity. You have to have the perseverance. You have to have the continuity in the team. Not just, you know, great minds and great ideas. You have to have that ability to stick through and work through all the problems. And that's where all the innovation is going to come from, right? You know,
exactly.
we're doing something people are familiar with, so we're going to get compared to everyone else right out of the box. But who's to say we can't come up with something completely new and different? You know, if we're in this game and we're working it, and people are behind us, I mean, all of us collectively working together, it's gonna something big's gonna happen, right?
Oh hell yeah, yeah. I mean, I genuinely think we have something different, like actually something different, and like that's the beauty of the team, because there's people like there's Atlas and you, and then there's all of the other advisors and everything, and then but the thing is, it's the leadership from you guys that helps tie it all together, because you know you get fucking a few advisors in a room, they're all going to have different opinions, and it's picking the best bits out of this, that, and the other. And that's what ARK excels at. It's the humbleness, the lack of ego, like that. It's just so refreshing to see. Like, yeah, like I said, post-traumatic stress from developers before, and this is good shit. Yeah.
Yeah, glad you made it over there, man. That's cool. How long are you staying there?
I'm not sure yet. Probably a few days.
Until you get kicked out. set up your streaming again from out of there.
Actually, yeah. The journey here was a ball ache, though. It's been like, so I've basically been like, before I got here, I'd just been living out of airports and on airplanes. I actually was on, to go off on a tangent here, I ended up falling asleep on the airplane, and there was like a gap in between me and this woman at the side. So I'd fallen asleep over the 2 seats. When I woke up, I was like, why the fuck am I on an airplane? Because I was completely bewildered at where I was. Yeah, weird.
That's great.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get all of this crypto. Yeah.
Let's get this crypto.
The great division is coming.
It sure is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed these comments on DeFi, but I was watching some videos on the SEC kind of taking an interest in DeFi now. It was kind of, you know, there's nothing they could do at this point, but it's interesting to see they're trying to form some alliances globally to see if they've got enough to probably make some kind of impact. But I just don't see how they're going to manage it until they have, you know, unless they eventually get to a one world system. It'd be really tough. But there's always going to be outliers, you know, there's always going to be wiggle room. I mean, it's software on a blockchain, so good luck regulating that, you know.
This is it, yeah. Like the thing with the whole Ethereum thing, how they started to try and claim ownership over it. That had me a little bit shook, but VPN, you know, like there's nodes all around the world as well, which is the other beautiful thing. So I think it's more of just the ignorance of the SEC. I don't want to say, no, wait, take that back. I don't want to jinx that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. For sure, it'll be a cat and mouse game, and a little. They'll try to FUD it as much as they can to keep as many people out of it as long as they can, for sure, until they figure out what they want to do.
But I truly believe that the BSC is gonna be damn near foolproof. Like, I mean, they fucking, like, with the whole US thing, they just made Binance US, and the rest of the world uses the other one. So it's like, Caesar, you don't give a shit about America. Well, no, okay, he cares about Americans, just not that shit.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a way around it. Like, everything's going to adapt, and that's the beautiful thing. I think that the people that know it's going to adapt to the people that know the blockchain, know Web3, or even interested in it, the people that are trying that have no idea about it. So, like, again, SEC and higher ups and shit, they don't know what they're talking about yet. Like, they don't exactly get it, and they don't get why they can't exactly regulate it as much as they think. Endpoints, sure, the endpoints, that's understandable, but everything in between, it's it literally made up numbers on a computer. Now, it's not, because again, as I was saying before, like, I basically live off of crypto. There's a lot you can do with crypto and all this, that, and the other, but to people who don't know it, it's mist. It's ether, excuse the pun.
Let's get this moving.
On other news, today I made 2 groups, which I wanted to make for a few days now. One is for Pakistan, and one is for Israelis.
Beautiful. Pakistan's Zindabad. It's a beautiful country.
That's so cool. Hey, S23, I was just thinking about that as I'm going through this exercise with the building out sales landing pages and things like that. We're going to want to probably find someone that can translate each one of those for us.
Yeah, the teams that the administrators for each country do that already. Like, they do that partially and, like, at their own pace, but they are using their own language. And yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think how to solve this linguistic problem, because we had a lot of people from Rome
That's cool.
that were from different countries that could translate stuff.
Beautiful, man. If you need help with the Urdu translation of the Pakistani page, you let me know, man. My Urdu is pretty good.
Yeah, like, the idea is that the groups are created, and as people join them, and right away, some of them are interested in helping and being administrators and whatnot, and they already translate things and for their language and everything. We keep an eye on it, but there's no problem so far. Like, the Italians did it, the Germans do it, also the Spanish community also, like, they take every text, everything, like the Spanish community, like, they turn the white paper and other text already into Spanish, and they're doing a very good job.
Yeah,
that's impressive. I mean, what you put together, all the international outreach it's amazing. It's great to see. I mean, any one of those teams could, strike lightning and bring in a bunch of people all at once. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you, Brett. And some of those communities are going extremely well. And shout out to Udaman for the Korean group that's going super fast. It's growing in numbers very fast. Also, the Chinese group, and all the groups are going very, very well. And it's like, I think in no time we will have like thousands of people in our groups.
Yeah, where's Udaman located? Is he in the States or is he in Korea?
Korea.
He's here right now. He can answer himself.
I'm in the state.
Oh, you're in the U.S.?
My audiences are all Korean, 99%.
I gotcha. Yeah, I spent some time in Seoul, did business there. I worked for, a long time ago, I worked for Motorola and also a company called Amcor, which is America Korea shortened. So we had factories there towards the North Korean border. So I used to stay in Seoul and then travel north and check out Imitation City and all that stuff. Is pretty trippy.
Awesome. Where are you from?
No, Korean community is great. We do provide all the groups with as I've said earlier, with the same set of commands, like the same commands and replies that are existing in the main chat. They all get updated at the same time in all 27 country groups. So that is
Called
One more time.
so,
Give me a hell yeah!
Let's get this crypto.
Airfire, take that button away from him.
I thought someone was watching the World Cup or something.
The funny thing is, I'm actually about to teach him some streaming tips of how he can make more of that a lot easier than the way he's doing it. So, sorry, I'm going to make it so much worse for you guys.
All right, well, we need to at least turn the volume down on it because we can't even understand what it's doing.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me try again. Maybe that's better.
Give me a hell yeah!
Much better.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now we got the expert.
Mr. Green, didn't Mr. Green teach you how to set them up so they would come through your computer, like on the mic, or sorry, just like as a through the computer and not necessarily as a recording on the mic?
No, that was only on the Windows, and I don't do Windows. I did,
Yeah, I
but I don't do it anymore.
It's okay. Like, I'm going to recommend some hardware he can use, and that'll.
So we could be like,
SK Crypto K, and today.
Welcome to ARK DeFi, the ultimate DApp on the BSC only, featuring Atlas and Brett
and Air and Chris.
I remember when I was first doing the Eternity podcast, or when you started doing the Eternity podcast, the very beginning, and I was on there, and you do the cheering sound. Like I'd have to mute it almost. It was so loud. It would, like, if I was in the car or something with the family, it would go off, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Blowing our ears off. It was hilarious.
So when I used to stream, like, I mean, I also make music, and there's one song that I have that's called Loud Noises. And it's fucking horrible. It starts out so quiet, so you're like, oh shit, I need to turn this up, and then it fucking kills you. It's one of the greatest things I've ever made. I'm sure we can feature it at some point.
Absolutely. Oh, you remember those days, Brett? Back Eternity days.
I didn't want to, it's funny because you always ask, does anybody want to ask anything? And I think you called me out one night. You were like, oh, I see Brett's on here. And Brett, I did something. I don't remember if it was like made a comment or something in the Telegram or wrote an article or something. And you like totally called me out. And I was like, oh shit, my whole family was in the car and I didn't want to answer. And I didn't talk on Telegram ever. I'm like super anti social media. Like I don't really do it at all. And so, like, you called me out, and I was like, oh, shit. Alice is calling me out. So I had to talk, and I finally did. And then eventually I just kind of got used to it. But it was really uncomfortable at first. Like, I understand why people don't want to ask any questions. It's kind of scary, But you make it easy. But at the same time, you're just so good at talking on Telegram that I think other people are super intimidated because they're like, well, shit, this guy's like a fucking radio host, and I'm gonna sound like some chump. I don't know what to say, you know. So that's I think the fear everybody has.
You have a great voice, Brad.
Oh, thank you. I'm a complete amateur compared to Atlas, for sure.
Yeah, like Atlas definitely fucking rocks it. Does it? I think another part of it was, I think people are afraid of like asking questions that they think are gonna sound stupid. So that's normally what puts people off a lot of the time with stuff. Whereas realistically, there is like, especially in crypto, where like we're literally pioneering the thing. There's kind of no such thing as a stupid question, other than saying, "Is crypto a scam?" That's a stupid fucking question. Like, because the answer is obviously no. Yeah, some DApps maybe, but not crypto.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Brett. But yeah. I mean, through this process and having these conversations, we've been able to see Brad ass go from Brad to Brad ass. Who needs a chat when you have a Brad?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's good to have this interaction. It's good to talk to people and identify their talents. And dude, Brad, we've come a long way, man. Like a really fucking long way.
Yeah, I mean, even the last month. Imagine where we'll be in 6 months. That's why I always try to. We got to keep the perspective, you know, because I know a lot of people are getting caught up in the minutia of what's going down with other DApps and all that stuff. But I just look and I'm like, God, look where we've come in just like a month or 2 months, 3 months, you know, from where we were, you know, and look at how fast we're going. I mean, shit, our dev team is like, they're firing on all cylinders now. You know, and at first, you know how it is, you know, these guys, they're all just making tokens. No one's getting any money or anything. So they're all kind of like, oh, yeah, it's cool project, Atlas, you know, he's nice. I'll kind of do this and that. And then we had that private round and everybody's like, oh, shit, you know, this is real. You know?
Yeah.
And then they were like, you know, firing away on the keyboard. We gotta go faster, you know. And now they're, you know, now they're just like, we don't even have to be there anymore. Before, Atlas and I had to be, you know, kind of on call most of the time. Like, oh, when Mr. Green's ready, we better just be there. Just keep moving, you know, keep moving. And now they're like doing their own VCs together and hopping around in all the different dev chats. Like, it's great to see, you know. And the admins have all. I mean, Brad, S23, and Fortunate, same thing. They're doing it now, like on their own. It's so great to see because then it frees us up to do, you know, the biz dev stuff and the AMAs and, you know, work on the investments and the partnerships and all that stuff. And that's what we need. We can all, you know, bring our own expertise and our own work to the table. So yeah, I feel good about it. It's going great. We just keep this momentum up and we'll create a lot for sure, really fast. I mean, faster than any project I've seen so far. I mean, from where we were just a short time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've been accumulating not BUSD, but all stable coins as much as possible since coming onto ARK. Like, it's like. I hate chatting shit about other dApps, but like I say, like there's not much I want to invest in. Like, I'll invest, get my ROI, and then put that into something else, and whatever else is gravy, blah blah blah. But like, since ARK and obviously being a part of it, being part of like making it work, being on the inside, I know. So I'm like, shit, yeah, I need to get a lot of stablecoin for this. Like, I wanna go hard into this. So there's basically nothing else I'm planning on investing into other than ARK now. It's just hoarding stablecoin. Yeah.
That's great.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You want to hit the button for me? Here, I'm going to let him do the button. Hit this one. Just hit it.
Bye, bye, bye.
Hit it again if you want.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye. If you ain't buying ARK, you're buying the wrong goddamn token.
I'll do your sound bites. Yeah, it's okay.
We got Air here on the soundboard tonight, guys. Having some fun.
Even the Peaky Blinders get behind ARK.
Good vibes. Oh man.
Well,
Come a long way.
is Air going to be there for the pre-sale tomorrow? So we can have him on the soundboard while you're doing the shout outs. That'll be fun.
Sure thing.
Team
of
F,
course, yeah.
He's gonna have to earn the steak here. We're taking him out tomorrow. Go ahead.
Every time there's a buy, he has to hit the button.
Well, we got that one.
Yeah. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
He won't be able to hit it fast enough.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to actually have an AMA because it's just going to be all the time.
Good times, guys.
You sound like an auctioneer, just rattling off every time there's a buy. That'll be fun.
10 minutes of pressing that button continuously.
Yeah, I hope it's a big turnout tomorrow. I think we got a core group that wants to accumulate. So I'm hoping there'll be some steady action. I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting the crazy response just because of all the things that are going on. You see the sentiment's low, but I think we'll do well. I think it'll still sell out pretty quick.
Well, I kind of think technically the different about the sentiment being low. Like, I think because everything else is so bad at the moment because of so many reasons, I think the more people that realize exactly what we've spoken about tonight, like learning from the lessons of everybody else, and moving forward, it's going to be golden. Like, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Air Fryer, live and direct on the ARK podcast. He's actually never even come before as a listener.
Yeah.
And now, he's here co-hosting with Z, with Brett, the rest of the family. I mean, NATO's definitely a co-host as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's part of the family, man. Good stuff. Well, is there any questions at this time? We'd love to hear from you guys. A shout out to Udaman. Udaman, dude, you sound like you're dying over there, but I love the passion that even though you're there, man, you sound like you're half alive. You're here because you're looking out because you're going to survive this illness or whatever you're going through, and you're looking about your financial future.
Hell yeah.
So,
and you are the man. So,
thank you. I mean, that just tugs to my heart, man. This guy's like, well, can you answer the question about the immutability? Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we can, Uda man. We got you.
Passion, yeah.
Because in 3 days you'll be back up, man. You'll be waking up with hard-ons, man. You'll be ready to get this crypto. And you're going to be set here in the ARK Vault. You're going to be set here getting your 2% a day and growing on this beautiful, fantastic journey. So love to all you. We're going to close out the recording for this evening. For those of you who are not here with us tonight, thank you for listening in. I hope that you're able, willing, and ready to get this crypto like a snake lying in the grass. Ready to strike.
Get it
tomorrow,
yes.
12 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. UTC, round 3, the final and discerning round.
Last chance, guys. Get in while you can. Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow here for the public last round. And look, guys, thank you for coming over tonight. Have a great night. We're going to hang out here for a little bit after we turn the recording off. Mr. Brad, take us to warp speed and get us out of the matrix. Good night.
Night, guys. Thank you.
Let's get this crypto.
I'll be safe.
Yeah,